Right now, the man accused of killing a jogger in Blue Mounds last month makes his first court appearance as we learn more about the police investigation.
Plus, officers at UW-Milwaukee continue the search for a freshman student identified as a McFarland native.
And later, a preview of tomorrow's spring primary election day in Wisconsin. We'll meet the three candidates in the only statewide race coming up.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Nearly 36 school districts in our area dismissed early today as the snow continues to have an impact on the roads.
There have been several reports of crashes and slide-offs today throughout the day, like this one not far from our station here on Raymond Road. We have team coverage. Gabriella Becerra on the roads right now, getting updated crash numbers as well, and Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti in our weather center, along with meteorologist Dana Fulton on the backyard patio.
Let's go right to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with the latest forecast.
Charlotte, we continue to watch the precipitation, and this has been a very tricky storm to predict because a difference of a degree or two somewhere is just going to make a difference between a cold rain and a heavy, wet, slushy snow. You can kind of tell that the heavier snow now is starting to shift north and east of Madison. We'll zoom in on a high-resolution Doppler radar, and you can see over southwestern Wisconsin, temperatures may be warming a degree or two to the point to where it might start seeing rain down toward Platteville and Darlington and west of Monroe. So that should limit the snowfall accumulations for this evening for areas south of Madison. Right now, still seeing 3/4 mile visibility in snow in Monroe and Madison. The visibilities have started to improve, so that indicates that the snow is not as heavy as it was earlier. But temperatures are critical. Madison right at the freezing mark, 32. Janesville just above freezing at 34. To the north, Wisconsin Dells, they're at 30. They're probably going to see all snow because they're just staying below the freezing mark. Winter weather advisories have now been expanded to over all of southern Wisconsin, including Dane County and Rock County. That until midnight tonight for the snow that's already fallen and any additional snow that's on the way. Once the snow ends later on tonight, we'll see a breezy and colder day tomorrow with high temperatures in the upper 20s, and then after that, temperatures get even colder. That could have an impact on what happens with the slushy snow accumulation. We've got meteorologist Dana Fulton on the weather patio, and Dana, unfortunately, when those temperatures drop, we might see a bigger impact than what we're seeing right now.
We could see a little more of an ice impact then. You mentioned the visibility is dropping. The snow is backing off out here, but we do still have a little more on the way. We're not completely out of the woods with our snow accumulation yet. It's going to continue to add on. So this is a look at what we are expecting over the next few hours on top of what we already have. About 1.25 inches around Madison. Areas north of the Dells could see another 2 inches of accumulation. This is going to impact your driving moderately, some slick spots, but thankfully the road's pretty warm, so we're not seeing those icy spots on the roads right now. Walking should be pretty smooth. This is slushy snow, so your shoes will get wet, but you shouldn't be dealing with any ice yet. And clearing the snow, I just shoveled the patio. It is heavy snow right now, so it's going to take you a little extra time to get the driveway and the sidewalks cleaned on up. After the snow wraps up, it does get very cold outside. Temperatures drop below freezing and stay below freezing for the middle of the week, so we will be dealing with some ice threats for the middle of the week. Those slushy spots starting to harden, of course, once temperatures drop below freezing. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on our roadways over the next few days.
Okay, Dana, Gary, thank you. If you have to drive anymore tonight, be sure to take it slow. This is a live look. Right now, the Beltline at Park Street. Right now, the city streets department says 32 plows are currently out there taking care of the main thoroughfares. 2 additional plows have been deployed to salt and clear residential hills, curves, and intersections.
Again, the snow is expected to keep falling into tonight, so be sure to download our free Channel 3000 First Warn Weather and Traffic app for all of your forecast and travel information on the go. Next at 6, Riley Berg was in court for the first time today, facing an intentional homicide charge for the death of Nicholas Day.
Day was shot and his neck cut multiple times while out on a run in Blue Mounds last month. Our Amanda Quintana was at that initial appearance. She joins us now with the details. Amanda?
We now know more about how deputies figured out that Berg was their suspect and the evidence that links him to the murder, but what we still don't know is why.
This homicide was a cold, calculated, and extremely violent homicide.
A death originally thought to be the result of a hit and run quickly turned to a brutal homicide investigation. Now, just more than a month later, we're learning more about the man detectives believe killed father and U.S. veteran Nicholas Day as he was on a run last month. 21-year-old Riley Berg. Today, his cash bond set at $1 million. Despite no criminal history, the court believed the severity of the crime and a mandatory life sentence if convicted could caused Berg to run.
This is an extremely violent crime where the victim was first shot at from a distance and then his throat was slit. We have DNA evidence of the victim in the defendant's vehicle, and to our knowledge, there is no connection between the victim and the defendant at this time outside of this crime. And I should add that DNA evidence is blood evidence.
Court documents reveal how detectives determined Berg was their suspect. Seen his car at Tyrrell Basin the day of the murder, the timeline using surveillance footage of Day running puts Berg at the homicide location on County Highway JG around the same time Day was killed.
The house where he was living, there was a safe full of weapons that he had access to.
Berg's father telling detectives he hunts every day. When questioned about his knives in the car, Berg's behavior changed. But one answer he was sure of when talking to investigators, he had never met Day. He didn't even know who he was. Berg's dad also told detectives that Berg was diagnosed with schizophrenia and is medicated. Court records from 2017 show Berg was arrested for obstructing an officer after being pulled over for speeding. Then his father apologized to police, saying he was previously hospitalized for his mental health and off his medication.
Amanda, thank you. The man convicted of drunk driving and crashing into the Beaver Dam Middle School will spend 2 years and 8 months in prison. In August, police say 22-year-old Roy Cortez drove into the Beaver Dam school, causing it to briefly catch fire. The Dodge County DA's office says the damages to that school are estimated to be over $2 million.
Police in Milwaukee are still searching for a missing UWM student who hasn't been seen since early Friday morning. The missing man, Sean Bake, is a freshman from McFarland. During a news conference today, UWM police say Sean and another student were using LSD. When the other student started having a bad reaction to it, Sean ran outside. At about the same time, an eyewitness saw a person run toward the riverbank nearby.
Sean sent a text to a family member at 1:20 a.m. stating, "I love you guys. I'm so sorry." The UWM police previously did not share the information regarding the reported drug use because it did not want Sean or anyone with relevant information to fear getting in trouble and thus not come forward.
At the same time of his disappearance, Sean was wearing a Milwaukee Bucks cap, a maroon, white, and dark-colored shirt, and white shoes. He also has type 1 diabetes and is insulin dependent and needs medication regularly. A man is in custody in Memphis, Tennessee on accusations that he is connected to the death of a mother and her 2 daughters in Milwaukee. 25-year-old Arzell Ivory was arrested on Saturday. During a court appearance today, Ivory waived extradition. His girlfriend and her 2 young children, one of them his own daughter, were found dead in a garage this weekend. A team from Milwaukee will get him sometime in the next day or 2.
Tomorrow, voters will decide which 2 candidates will advance in a race that will help dictate the law in Wisconsin for the next 10 years. Amy Reed joins us now to break down your 3 options tomorrow. Amy?
So tomorrow's the primary. That's that first round that narrows these 3 down to 2. We have current Justice Daniel Kelly, who was appointed in 2016 to fill out the rest of another justice's term, Dane County Circuit Judge Jill Kurofsky, and 27-year constitutional law professor Ed Falone. This is supposed to be a nonpartisan race, though Kelly has drawn support from conservatives and conservative groups. Kurofsky and Falone are the same, but left-leaning people and groups. Here's what they had to say about the partisanship of the race.
This is all about being faithful to the constitutional text, as it's written, not as we might wish it to be written, but as the people of Wisconsin have actually adopted and maintained it over all of these years.
What I have done is I have talked about my values, and I have been very open and honest about what my values are. But in my courtroom, I follow the rule of law, and I can give you many, many examples of when I have ruled against my personal or political interest.
I'm the only candidate who is keeping politics out of this and stressing affirmatively my qualifications as a law professor, experienced lawyer, and the way I can bring consensus to the court.
Each one of these candidates has a long history, and we can't include everything on air, so you can find out more about them on our website. And you'll have to study up by tomorrow for the primary, which will narrow the race to 2 before the general election in April.
Political reporter Amy Reed reporting. Amy, thank you. Man, some things to keep in mind before tomorrow. If you need to register to vote, you can't do it online anymore for tomorrow, but you still can register in person at your polling center. You just need to bring a document with your full name, current address as proof of residency. Also remember, voter ID laws are in place, so whether you need to register or not, you will need to bring your ID to cast a ballot. now. The polls will open at 7 a.m. They will close at 8 p.m.
The State Department of Health Services says there is another potential case of coronavirus being tested in Wisconsin. According to its website, this is the only pending case right now. So far, there have been a total of 16 people tested. 14 have been negative, 1 positive, and now the 1 additional pending. Riddell Sports Group will be closing its entire facility in Sun Prairie later this year. According to the State Department of Workforce Development, 109 workers will be affected starting April 10th. The South Central Workforce Development Board will offer rapid response services to the company and the affected workers. Still ahead tonight, some proposed chances to this summer's Madison night markets.
Plus, an incredible lake rescue captured on video. That story when we come back.
Don't miss your chance to see the 6-time Grammy Award-winning Irish band The Chieftains on their Goodbye Tour. Celebrate 57 years of music making in an unforgettable evening of music, song, and dance. The Chieftains, The Irish Goodbye, March 3rd. Tickets at overture.org.
Culligan Water not only sells the best water softeners, but also rents them. Big box plumbers and online sellers don't. With renting, you never pay for repairs or extended warranties. And Culligan softeners are backed by the world's largest dealer network. Get better water. Contact Culligan.
Ish Monroe, Mark Zona, Pete Maynard, Tommy Kimo, and other fishing experts will be speaking at the Wisconsin Fishing Expo, February 28th through March 1st at the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center. Same great show with a hot new look, now with even more booths. New Kids Fishing Bingo for the first 500 kids per day. Over 300 booths, hundreds of boats priced to sell, more gear and tackle than ever. Go to wifishingexpo.com for details. Kids 12 and under free.
Who has my charger? My Hy-Vee grocery cart's about to die.
Will you take our picture with my Hy-Vee grocery cart?
Absolutely. Hey, is that the latest Hy-Vee grocery cart? Yeah.
Please put your Hy-Vee grocery carts in airplane mode for takeoff.
Sir, you left your Hy-Vee grocery cart on the table. Oh, thank you.
Download the all-new Hy-Vee shopping app. It's the fresh way to shop fresh.
Please be courteous and silence your Hy-Vee grocery carts.
Hey, movie starting. Yeah. I'm almost done with my grocery shopping.
You were always the responsible one, so much like me, always taking care of everyone else. But this wasn't your responsibility. I already took care of the arrangements. The Ryans made it so easy. I didn't want you to worry about a thing. It's my last gift to you, my lovely daughter.
Welcome back. An amazing rescue was captured on video in the heart of downtown Chicago.
A man was walking along Lakeshore Drive when he fell into the icy waters of Lake Michigan. It happened on Saturday morning when the temperature was in the teens, but the wind chill made it feel in the single digits. The man slips and loses his footing here and goes into the icy waters there. A nearby jogger saw him fall in and tried to flag down some cars that were passing by to help. After no one stopped, he jumps the barrier and goes for help himself. Moments later, as the man struggled in the freezing water, 2 Chicago officers arrived on scene. They were able to pull him to safety.
A world record attempt this weekend on a Wisconsin lake has come up short. Kurt Anderson, who is from Minnesota, was trying to break a world land ice record set back in 1981 by traveling more than 250 miles per hour in his handmade ice rocket racer. This happened yesterday at the annual Manawa Snowdeo. His attempt ended in a crash, estimated at around 200 miles per hour. Kurt made it out all right, but says he is already looking ahead to getting his next chance.
I could do it all day long. If I could drive back to Minneapolis in this thing, I would.
Anderson says he got his start in drag racing, but the land ice record is his new obsession. One of his previous attempts in Sweden was canceled because of an unusually warm winter there.
Madison Night Market has released its tentative 2020 schedule. As of now, those markets will be held in May, June, August, and September. Final approval is expected next week from the city. The market is also looking to expand onto State Street as well. They say attendance has skyrocketed and they need more space. Organizers say it would also allow for more art, music, and shopping. More to come tonight at 6.
Ahead in sports, here from All-Star captain Giannis Antetokounmpo after a nail-biting end to this weekend's All-Star game.
But first, your full First Warn forecast. The snow continues to fall all throughout southern Wisconsin. Stay with us.
Here's to the hardest working people in America, the ones whose work is never done, the ones who don't settle for good enough. At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we stand behind you with genuine value on quality tools and supplies. Like a free lithium battery when you buy this Milwaukee 2-tool combo kit. Save $50 on this DeWalt Mechanics tool set, and all welding wire and rods are 15% off.
The hardest working people in America find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
The windows on our homes. We probably don't give them much thought. They're just there, doing what windows do. It's true, they add character and personality. They connect the inside to the outside, and the other way around. But they're also there to do much more. They're there to frame a smile. They provide the perfect light for the perfect moment. They help protect us and the ones we love.
It's incredible. It's award-winning. It's the new Ram 1500 at Don Miller. With the President's Day event on now, there's great selection. The new Ram 1500, it's Green Car Journal's 2019 and 2020 Green Truck of the Year. Lease a new 2020 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn 4x4 for only $279 a month plus taxes and fees, 39 months, 10,000 miles per year, $34.99 due at signing. See salesperson for details. The President's Day event on now at Don Miller, your Madison Truck headquarters.
Don Miller.
The things we do for the ones we love. People are amazing. We're here to help keep them that way. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now. It's quite the storm out there.
You know, this reminds me so much of one of the first weather forecasts I made here almost 30 years ago, where we were expecting just some snow flurries, and the temperatures were just barely above freezing. We got these big, heavy, wet flakes that fell, and all of a sudden we ended up with 3 inches of snow. October 10th, 1990. Go look it up in the record books. It's the heaviest snow for so early in the season, and it was a very similar storm. These are the ones that just give you, my hair's probably turned gray by now, because it's just, you know, temperatures are just so highly dependent on the snowfall totals. And you can see, these are the snow totals that are actually for this evening. 5 inches in Monroe, almost 5 inches here at the station, 4.5 in Dodgeville, 4 inches in Beloit. But notice farther to the north and west, Muscoda and Reedsburg only at 2 inches. And if we look at Doppler radar, you can see the story. It's been snowing pretty steadily for most of the day over southern Wisconsin. Now southwestern Wisconsin starting to see perhaps a change over to rain, where temperatures might be a couple degrees warmer, but still snowing over much of Rock and Greene counties. In fact, we'll zoom in on that area, and you can see still another heavier band of snow moving out of Monroe, heading toward Evansville, north and west of Janesville, and then over toward Jefferson, whereas farther to the south and west, that might be either a mixture of rain and snow or just rain. And take a look at the visibilities. First of all, that's that area of heavier snow that I was showing you. That's where the visibilities are down to about 3/4 of a mile. Over southwestern Wisconsin, the visibility is now up to between about 1 and 4 miles. But here's the temperatures. 32 Madison, 32 Monroe, 34 in Janesville. They're still getting snow, even at 34. But over southwestern Wisconsin, mainly above freezing. Not by much, but just enough, perhaps, to start seeing more rain down toward Platteville. So I think additional snow accumulations for the most part. Now, that might be an exception over northern Rock and Greene counties, but the farther north you go, more likely that we're still going to see a couple of inches of accumulation. Farther to the south, as that change over to rain or a mixture of rain and snow occurs, that might limit any additional accumulations over what we already have. And some places have picked up 4 or 5 inches of snow. 3 things you need to know. The snow, for the most part, will be heaviest north of Madison through the evening and early overnight hours before it comes to an end. There could also be a little bit of light freezing rain mixed in that could limit totals in some areas. It'll be colder for tomorrow, but not dramatically so. High temperatures in the upper 20s to around 30, and it'll also be a little breezy. And then the really cold weather arrives for Wednesday and Thursday, when we're looking at low temperatures below 0 or just above 0, and wind chills down to about 10 or 15 below 0. As far as the snow is concerned, driving, we've seen a lot of accidents. So we're putting that in the moderate category as far as travel. Walking, not too bad. A slushy, crunchy snow is okay, but clearing it, it's a heart attack snow out there with a sticky, wet snow. Very difficult to shovel. Alert day still in the forecast for this evening and overnight for any additional snow and freezing rain. Again, south of Madison, that might be more of a mixture of rain and snow. Additional accumulations about 1 to 3 inches on top of what we already have. And then, as far as the alert days for Wednesday and Thursday, that's for the really cold air. Temperatures down to 4 above 0 by Wednesday morning. Wind chills down to -10. High on Wednesday only 18. Thursday we're below 0 with wind chills perhaps as cold as 15 below 0 in the morning. High temperature only at 18 degrees. So we have a winter weather advisory in effect for all of southern Wisconsin now. That in effect until midnight. 28 for the high tomorrow once we clear out, and it'll turn breezy as well, so a little bit of a chill in the air. But you can see on Future Track, here's the snow lifting more toward the north and east with perhaps a mixture of rain and snow to the south. Temperatures might actually rise a few more degrees before they start falling overnight. Notice by tomorrow morning, temperatures still in the 20s here, might still be in the 30s down toward the Illinois state line, but then those temperatures will drop a little bit there, come up a little bit here. Tomorrow night we'll clear out, those temperatures dropping into the single digits, and if you haven't cleared off the snow and the slush, it's going to freeze by that point. High temperatures on Wednesday only in the mid to upper teens. Additional snowfall tonight, 1 to 3 inches north of Madison for the most part. South of Madison, that mixture of precipitation. Total snowfall will probably end up in the 3 to 6 inch range over much of southern Wisconsin. It'll be spotty depending on the temperatures. 7 to 10 day forecast. A big warm up after the cold spell for Wednesday and Thursday. We're back in the 40s by the weekend and some rain early next week.
Well, Dimitri Trice has been putting up some solid numbers as of late, so what's his secret? It's all in the family. That story next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Save big money at Menards. Durable and stylish Great Lakes Urban Click Vinyl Tile is easy to install, waterproof, and has an attached pad. Plus, it gives the look of real stone tile. $289 a square foot. Over 12,500 lights and ceiling fans are on sale. Find your style with Patriot Lighting. The Denzel collection is accented by an oil-rubbed bronze finish. This 4-light chandelier is $84.99. Find amazing deals right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Oh, baby, I have sinned. Baby, this is my last confession. You know I've never been no good. But when I'm with you, it feels like heaven. I'm begging for mercy, baby. Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
He's been a leader throughout the country for the past 12 years. Mr. Michael Bloomberg is here.
Leadership in action. Mayor Bloomberg and President Obama worked together in the fight for gun safety laws, to improve education, and to develop innovative ways to help teens gain the skills needed to find good jobs.
At a time when Washington is divided in old ideological battles, he shows us what can be achieved when we bring people together to seek pragmatic solutions.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopko Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopko Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 30% off lenses with the purchase of any frames.
It's no secret, Robertson is Wisconsin's aesthetic leader. But with results this natural, patients can keep it a secret if they want. Our secret to reducing stubborn body fat? Cool Sculpting. And now with 25% off, it's time to learn how Cool Sculpting is different at Robertson.
Hi, folks. Sandy's got her eye on another blast of dangerous cold before things warm up in a big way by the end of the week.
And it is primary election day. We'll be live telling you whether you can expect long lines at the polls when we see you starting at 4:30.
We'll see you then.
Well, Badgers guard Dimitri Trice has put up double digits in 5 of the last 6 games. That includes 15 points in Wisconsin's win over Nebraska on Saturday. And a big part of his success, advice from the fam. Older brother Travis, who was a 1,000-point scorer at Michigan State, and his dad played ball at Purdue and Butler. So getting ready for games means going over technique, but also doing the little things right.
That's been the biggest thing for me, is focusing on the little things that I can do better off the court, whether that's recovering, getting more sleep, eating right, has definitely helped my confidence overall, my mental to be at an all-time high. So I got to tip my hat to both of them because they've helped me immensely. So that's just helped me play a little bit more freely and play with a little bit better mindset than I was in the beginning of the year.
Meanwhile, the women's hockey team coming off of a wild weekend, winning in double overtime against Ohio State and at the Kohl Center in front of a record crowd. Wisconsin has lost 4 games, though, this season, which might seem like a lot given the team's history. But head coach Mark Johnson isn't worried about that. The Badgers lost 4 games last season, too, and won a national championship. So he's not discouraged at all.
That's the encouraged part. If we weren't getting those opportunities, then you'd have some concerns. But, you know, eventually things tilt in the other direction, and you know, if you keep getting quality opportunity, eventually a puck's going to go in. That's what history has shown me. It can be really frustrating, you know, maybe from a player standpoint or from the coaching standpoint when you see so many opportunities and you don't get rewarded. But the big thing is that, you know, keep doing what you're doing, and eventually, you know, something's going to go in.
Well, post All-Star break, the Bucks won't play until tomorrow. The best team in the league is heading to Detroit to face a less than mediocre Pistons squad that is 19-38 on the season. Team Giannis didn't win the All-Star game last night, but the Greek Freak already feeling some playoff vibes from how tough everyone played.
My brother came down and he said this has been the most fun All-Star that he's been a part of. And I asked him why. He told me because you guys was really competitive. You guys were playing to win. And, you know, Team Giannis, that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to come out, set the tone, play hard. And especially in the fourth quarter, you know, the defense got tighter. Guys would hit one another, every possession count. It was kind of, he had a little bit of playoff intensity out there, so I loved it.
All right, so this is an annual thing at the Resch Center. Between periods of the Green Bay Gamblers and Dubuque Fighting Saints, there's a wiener dog race. 33 adorable dogs moving their little legs as fast as I could across the ice. The winner was a dog named Willow, and she even gets a trophy. Hopefully, ooh, that guy there slipping, falling on his face, but some extra treats too, maybe as well. This is really cute. We had to answer.
Dachshunds are perfect for that because they have such a low center of gravity. So, you know, people slip on ice. But
they're low riders.
They're low to the ground. They've got four-wheel drive. And
just don't let that be you tonight with the snow and slush out there.
Beautiful segue, Gary.
Yeah. It's bad out there.
Yeah, you know, especially look at there, that's the view from our backyard camera right now. Still coming down at a pretty good clip here. But as we check out radar, you can see that maybe we might be seeing some rain over far southwestern Wisconsin. I haven't been able to verify it yet with surface weather reports, but visibility is right now about 3/4 of a mile through Greene and Rock counties from about Monroe to Madison. A little bit better farther east toward Janesville. And then you can see those temperatures, very critical for precipitation type. Many locations right at 32. If you're a little bit above, might have a little bit of rain in there. Actually, there should be a winter weather advisory there until midnight tonight for all of southern Wisconsin. About an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow before it ends.
Well, we'll keep you posted. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for joining us at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.